Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Mike Tyson's Punch-Out high score tutorial. In this video, I'll be talking about the third fight in the game, Piston Honda 1. This fight is particularly difficult due to Honda being very unpredictable and, funnily enough, also having extremely good ways to score a lot of points. These two factors mean the strategy is one of high risk, high reward. In fact, even with perfect play, this fight can escape your control and even lead to a loss. You will need to be able to read Honda's health very well and be very lucky to get a good score in this fight. Let's look at some facts. You can get a star on every punch. The smallest amount of damage you can deal and also get a star is intercepting a jab late with any face punch and also intercepting a hook with a left face punch. Both deal 1 damage to Honda. Damage dealt by a star punch can take on 5 values. 20 damage can be dealt by landing a star punch while stunned, unstunned after an uppercut, into eyebrows early, with a specific guard manipulation from up to down, and a specific guard manipulation from down to up while also intercepting an uppercut. 16 damage is dealt while intercepting a jab. 13 damage is dealt when Honda is just standing there. 12 damage is dealt when intercepting eyebrows late, stunned from a gut punch, and a specific guard manipulation. And 8 damage is dealt when intercepting a hook. Piston Honda's health recovery is soft capped at 32 hit points. Honda has a wider variety of punches compared to his predecessors. His jab and hook deal 11 damage to Mac. His jab can be intercepted with any punch, while his hook can only be intercepted with a left face punch. Honda's uppercut deals 19 damage to Mac and can be intercepted with both face jabs and gut punches. However, due to his awkwardly slow guard and unpredictability, there is no reliable way to hit them. And finally, his Bonsai punch deals 8 damage to Mac. One thing I want to clear up is the two ways his jab can be intercepted, early and late. Typically, late is the best way since he only takes 1 damage from a face punch, but if you really need to save time, you can punch him in the face when his eyebrows wiggle for 5 damage. Honda will dodge the 15th star punch and after a reset will once again dodge the 15th star punch. When Little Mac turns pink, Honda will perform continuous hooks with a minimum of 3 until Mac returns to normal. Mac returns to normal after dodging 1 punch. When Little Mac recovers from pink, he will have 20 hearts if you didn't get hit whilst pink, but only 10 hearts if he did get hit whilst pink. Mac can get up from 3 knockdowns during this fight. On the first knockdown, he will always get up with 6 hearts. On the second and third knockdown, he will get up with 9 hearts if it was an even count, and 3 hearts if it was an odd count. Piston Honda can perform his Bonsai Attack 7 times throughout the fight. They are all followed up with a single uppercut and are all governed by the timer. He will do his Bonsai Attack at 1 minute and 2:40 in round 1, at 40 seconds and 2:20 in round 2, and at 20 seconds, 2:30 and 2:40 in round 3. Here is a flowchart of Piston Honda's general pattern. This pattern does not change throughout the entire fight. He always begins with 2 jabs and is followed by a 75% chance for a hook and a 25% chance for a non-attack, which is kind of like a placeholder move which causes Honda to stand still for a little while. After this rather straightforward early section, it gets more complicated. Each punch is handled on a singular basis and can also randomly loop back to previous sections. A very simple explanation is that after his hook or non-attack option, he will perform at least 2 punches before he can possibly loop back to jabs. Overall, the chance for an uppercut is slightly less than 3 in 8, and the chance for a loopback is slightly less than 1 in 2. Also, each arrow can represent a random number of delays Honda can do, usually between 4 and 48 frames. Once again, this is a simplified diagram, with an even more simplified explanation. The main thing I want you to take away from it is, in a high score perspective, hooks are the most likely event. On Honda's first knockdown, he will get up on a 1 count if you have full HP. Otherwise, he will get up with a 56 or 64 refill, with a 50% chance for each. On Honda's second knockdown, he will get up with 48 or 56 HP, with a 37.5% chance for the lower refill. On Honda's third knockdown, he will get up on a 1 count if you knocked him down with a star punch. Otherwise, he will get up with a 32 or 40 refill with a 50% chance for each. On Honda's fourth knockdown, he will get up on a 1 count if you knocked him down with a star punch. Otherwise, he has a 62.5% chance to get up with 8 HP and a 37.5% chance to get knocked out. On Honda's fifth knockdown, he will never be able to get up, so this fight is broken down into 5 phases. Finally, Honda 1's select refills don't vary between round 2 and 3. The refill is either 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, or 56, with a 1 in 8 chance for each, except 32, which has a 1 in 4 chance. Alright, let's see how we can tackle this fight. The early part of Phase 1 begins with landing 3 gut punches, like in the regular speedrun strategy. Then we intercept 2 jabs late. This nets us a total of 5 stars right off the bat. The right dodge I used before Honda's second jab is not a perfect buffer. I believe you have to delay your face punch by at least 1 frame. It also doesn't really matter that we can't hold 5 stars. I have dabbled with only getting 3 stars in this section, but overall, I found it doesn't increase the overall productivity, since we save health but lose some time and 220 points. Now it's time to unleash our star punches. Just buffer the first, since there's a 75% chance for a hook. This is the most common option I take after jabs. I then perform a right quick dodge, which I use to kill some time before his next punch, then star punch again, hoping to land it into another hook, which it does. It is possible he won't punch here, or he might duck for an uppercut, or his delay might be so short that even a hook can hit you, but that is quite rare. Another strategy I employ is when using star punches, I don't hold start for too long after using it. It seems to help get delays on the shorter side. Use up all your star punches. When you have 0 stars, it's time to get some more. Be wary as he may go back to jabs at any time, which should net you 2 free stars. If he hooks, intercept it for a star and pretty much use that star right away. Get one, use one. If you need a star and he uppercuts, try to dodge out of the way instead. If you use a star and he ducks under it and uppercuts you, then that's just plain bad luck. Personally, if I deem the fight to be going poorly due to too many uppercuts, I will end up resetting. You'll continue the star punch onslaught until 1 minute. Don't knock him down before then. This is when he will do the Bonsai Attack. He should be in the recovery zone, below 32 health by then. In this scenario, I didn't get his HP super low, but he is in the recovery zone. If you can get over 4,000 points by the Bonsai Attack, that's the sign of a sick pace. Don't fret if you don't have that high of a score. Good paces can become disastrous in mere moments at any point in this fight, through no fault of your own. You will get hit by the Bonsai Attack until he can recover no more. These punches deal the least to Mac and he throws them quickly, perfect to let him recover. He doesn't stop punching until you dodge or block 5 of them, so do that, because we need to score more points and the clock is ticking. Finally, cancel his uppercut to save a little more time. After this, his pattern resets all the way to a point similar to the very start of the fight. I opt for 1 gut punch here and then intercept 2 jabs to get to 3 stars, and like earlier in the phase, I attempt to land them into 3 hooks. You should be looking for the first knockdown here. Typically I aim for a time between 140 and 150 at the most. I farm a couple more stars from hooks until he uppercuts, then I just dodge and star punch. In this scenario, I am able to land all 3 stars into hooks and then notice he has either 3 or 4 HP left. I intercept a hook and then I am blessed with the jab pattern. I opt to lose some time to get a couple of free extra stars from the jabs and then get the knockdown at 154. The second half of this phase went really well, and a score of 7.5k is quite strong. For Honda's random refills, they are all played pretty much the same way. You just have 8 less health to play with on each of the lower ones. You should be focusing on when Honda gets to low health. I wouldn't worry too much about the refills. This is the lower one for this phase. Since I already have 2 stars, I opt to only intercept the jabs for 1 star and 1 damage apiece. Then, just as before, attempt to land star punches into hooks similar to the previous phase. You really don't want to knock him down here. When he gets to about 9 to 13 health, I wouldn't try to land a star punch into a hook, just in case he stands there and takes 13 damage from a star punch. Just farm stars until he does his Bonsai Attack at 240, then let him recover. It is also possible you will have used 15 stars sometime during this phase. If you notice Honda dodge a punch, it's up to you whether you want to go for a dodgeability reset, or just keep trying to land stars into hooks. When you are letting him recover with the Bonsai Attack, you may take a knockdown here. In fact, if he is still in the recovery zone, I think you should take the knockdown. In my situation, I was fortunate enough to not get hit with a single uppercut, so I escaped round 1 with low health, but 0 knockdowns taken. In this scenario, I will press select for round 2. If you have taken the knockdown and get up on an even count, you should go into round 2 with 48 HP. In that scenario, I wouldn't press select for round 2 and save it for round 3. A score of over 10,000 here is very good. The select refill I got was decent, sets me nicely up for this phase. Getting a small refill when you have low health does put some pressure on, such as you getting hit a couple of times due to some unlucky uppercuts. It can force you to take a knockdown much earlier than expected. I apologize for a glitch in the recording right before my first punch, which intercepts the late jab. The Bonsai Attack is coming up at 40 seconds, so I want to let Honda recover there. My task is just as before, land as many star punches as possible into hooks, and get stars by intercepting hooks and jabs late. Typically, you won't have enough health to let him recover fully from the Bonsai Attack, or you will only have a sliver remaining. In my opinion, if you haven't taken a knockdown yet, and he can't recover any more HP, and you will get knocked down in 1 or 2 more punches, just take the knockdown. Getting up on an even count for a larger refill is pretty much always the best play here. After looking at his health bar, I decide I'm going to do a gut punch, then intercept 2 jabs for 3 stars total, then land 2 stars into hooks, farm a couple more stars, then get a knockdown at 140-ish. Unfortunately, my second star punch doesn't connect with a hook, and he is either at 1 or 2 HP. I don't risk trying to get another star and just knock him down with a star punch a bit earlier than I intended. Still, a score of over 14,000 here is pretty solid. He gets up at the big refill and I opt to go for only 2 jab intercepts for 2 stars. Considering it was such an early knockdown, going for a gut punch and getting a 3rd star might have been the wiser choice. First star connects into a hook and the second is snuffed out with an unlucky uppercut. Getting to 3 stars would have caused me to lose all 3 in that situation, used 2 and lost 1 by getting hit. It's just more of the same until his next Bonsai Attack at 220. I see my hearts are pretty low and he has a decent amount of HP left. I stun him in the gut and star punch, which makes the star punch only do 12 damage. Then go pink right before 220. This will skip the Bonsai Attack. You may choose to let him recover HP instead, it's up to you. My goal is just to farm stars until he is at a sliver of health. Okay, now we have a big decision to make. Do we go for a star knockdown, which will make him get up with a 1 count, or do we get a regular knockdown, sacrificing 490 points for a 32 or 40 HP refill, but we'll be able to land star punches during that phase? Once again, it's entirely up to you. The good news is that they are about equal if you get decent luck. However, if you can get insanely good luck, doing the regular punch knockdown is the better choice. Also, you will have to factor in the time remaining. It does take a long time to make use of a 1 count's full potential by getting as many stars as possible. If you are going for the 1 count here, I suggest you knock down Honda no later than 245 in round 2. However, if you choose to go for the regular punch knockdown, you can do it at the end of round 2, or even save it for the very first punch of round 3. If you wait any longer than that, it gets harder and harder to make full use of the phase given the time remaining in the fight. I choose to land a gut punch and a star right before the end of the round. There is another Bonsai Attack at 20 seconds in round 3. If you are wondering how to handle the 1 count route for this knockdown, the next phase will be a 1 count. Listen to how I explain it there. If you went the non-1 count route, intercept both jabs late and then star punch and hope it hits a hook. This can even be done if you lose 3 seconds by knocking Honda down right at the start of the round. There is an interesting buffer you can use to get a star right after he charges at you without knocking him down, but you have to make sure he will do the Bonsai Attack instantly. It's just 5 right dodges and 2 left gut punches. Even I forget to use this buffer sometimes, but I believe it does help you get 110 extra points in some scenarios. Once again, let him recover with Bonsai punches. This will likely be your second knockdown. If you have been knocked down twice already, I suggest saving the third as a bailout. The thing is, even if you get up on an even count, the refill Matt gets is only 16, and Honda's uppercut deals 19 damage. That means one wrong or unlucky move on Mac's final get-up will mean you lose the fight. You want to aim to knock Honda down with a star punch at 115 at the latest. This should give you enough time to make pretty good use of getting stars during the 1 count. Lead with 3 left gut punches. A nice buffer to use into the first jab early is a left quick dodge. My concern isn't health management anymore, just get the stars as quickly as possible. Intercept the second jab early and continue to hold up and intercept the 75% hook. Let the guard drop and nail him in the face 3 times. I just continue to try and hit face punches. Watch Honda's face closely. He can loop back to eyebrows during your flurry of punches. If you notice this, you can get some easy stars without the risk of being blocked. Overall, this phase went quite well for me, and I landed a lot of stars, which caused his health to be really low right before the Bonsai Attack at 230. I decided to take a knockdown, then try and get stars after, which probably wasn't the smartest decision, since he also does a Bonsai Attack at 240. I think the correct play here would have been to get hit by the uppercut like I did, but then dodge the first hook and intercept the next 2. I would have ended up with more points that way. Finally, aim to get your knockdown before the time runs out. You cannot win this fight with a decision, so if you don't get the KO or TKO, you will lose. Overall, this fight got me a score of 26,500, which is extremely good. Typically, I am happy with a score of just 25,500. You shouldn't concern yourself with getting a score as high as this when just starting out. Even 24,000 is pretty strong. There are still plenty more fights to go, plenty more ways for the game to screw you over, and plenty more points to score. This concludes the tutorial for Piston Honda 1 and the minor circuit. It can be tough getting really good runs out of this early section of the game since so much of it is governed by RNG. Unfortunately, things don't get friendlier for us right away in the major circuit. I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for watching.